And today I'm going to talk about the alignment exercise and get you guys started on that. If one way to find it is by going to this slide, which has a lot of information, and these are some of the things we're going to be working on. But ultimately, the goal is I'm going to give you something that's like a mess, like kind of like this, total mess, and then we're going to talk about how to use alignment, hierarchy, grouping to create a sense of unity. That's ultimately the goal, to make things easier to read. So let's get started. So you go to the alignment exercise, which is in Google Drive. There it is. Looks terrible. And download that. And of course, open this up in Photoshop. So a couple ways of doing that. I'm just showing you one. All right, so once you have this open in Photoshop, if you don't already have your rulers set up in Photoshop, and you see I'm going to show you what these look like, get them set up. So how do I do that? In Photoshop, and I'm going to make sure that it looks like this, I am going to go to View and make sure rulers are turned on, and then also go to Show and make sure your Smart Guides are turned on. So again, rulers are checked, and under Show, Smart Guides are turned on. All right, what did these do? Well, obviously you can see the rulers are there and they look like that. And it lets you figure out where everything is. And as I move things around, you can see there's a little white guide that shows up on the horizontal and vertical. So we're going to start by making a 1-inch border. And to do that, you go to the ruler and you mouse down and drag from the ruler. So not from here, but from the ruler, you mouse down and drag, and you're going to bring a guide all the way down, and so it's exactly at the 1-inch border. So see right there, it shows me, and I can move this around with the move tool if I need to change its location, and I'll do the same thing. And this one I found the 1-inch border is actually at 9.5. So there it is. And then again, I come over here to this left facing ruler, and I mouse down and drag from the ruler and go to the 1-inch guide here and 1-inch guide here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because a requirement for this document is for it to have a 1-inch border around it. So we're going to basically set up a grid system so we can do that. Now the next thing I'd like to do once I have this done is I want to start to align things. Now let me just show you a little trick. Because I turned on my smart guides, watch this. If I click on layer 3, which is this object right here, because I can see it under transform controls, and I move this around, I don't know how well you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'll move up here. When I toggle this back and forth, check this out. See how there's a little pink line that shows up? So that when these two objects are left aligned, that pink line will pop up and show me that they're left aligned. So even if I move this up and down, I just know that they're left aligned by doing that. So that's why smart guides are so awesome, because it helps you see things like that, see where things are aligned and where they're not aligned. And you can do that to center align things as well. So if I go to this green square and I bring it over here next to this red square, you see how not only do I get it right aligned, but also it's center aligned because I have a guide in the middle. But there's an easier way to do this, and I'm going to show you how right now. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to grab layer 1, which is this, right? And I'm going to grab layer 3, which is this one. And before I do that, I'm going to deliberately click on one of those. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to knock this out of place. So these are not aligned. So to grab both of them, you hold down the Option key. No, I'm sorry, my bad. The Command key, which is to the left or right of your space bar. And while holding that down, I click on both of these layers. So they don't have to be right next to each other, but they're both selected. And if I move them, they both move together in tandem. But what I want to do is left align them. So I'm working with the Move tool, which is this tool right here. And when I come up here, let's say I wanted to right align these. Well, you can see there's a line. And if I edge align it on the right, see, they line up now. They're both on the right. If I change my mind and I'd like them to be edge aligned on the left, I can do that. I can also edge align them on the bottom, but then they're overlapping and I don't really like that. So I'm going to not choose that option. But I don't want these hanging over on the side. So I'm going to deliberately bring them in and just line them up, look at that, with my guide. And I've gone ahead and I've manipulated this so that they're now at least within this 1-inch border. I'm seeing that this is hanging over a little bit on the side, but I can come over and just change the size of that. I'm allowed. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab all of these, the purple, red box, green box, and blue box. So I'll find those. I'm going to hold down the option key, or the command key again, grab those, and those are all there. And I'm going to right align them first of all. So right align them. So now they're all lined up, but they're not really evenly spaced. And I don't like the fact that this is all the way up here and this is all the way down here. So I'm going to go to my green square and I'm going to line it up over here first of all. Why not? And then I'm going to go to my blue square and I'm going to line it up. I think I'm going to bring it up higher. Let's just see what happens here. And then I'm going to grab all these again. So again, option or command, command, grab these, and I'm going to, let's see, I'll right align them. Oh, that's easy. All right, and move them over here maybe. Okay. And then they're not spaced evenly, so I'm going to go over here and I can either distribute them from the top edges, watch this, or from the middle or from the bottom. But watch what happens. See, now they're all evenly spaced with each other. So that's nice. And if I wanted to, because they're all selected, if I feel like they're too big, you know what, I'll just do this now. I'll make them a little smaller so they just kind of fit that space a little bit better and create kind of a nice margin with what's happening over here. So that's alignment for you in a nutshell. It's lining everything up and making it look good, and just kind of putting this around. I'll use Smart Guides to put these over here, but you can use all your different objects and choose where you want to put them. And if you're feeling lazy, if you just want to align this, you can use this. And I can see my Smart Guides popping up when things are aligned. But getting everything into the border is the first part of this project. And this is using guides, Smart Guides, and alignment tools are going to help you tremendously in saving you time and making this look professional.